guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, welcome to all returning subscribers. Thank you so much for your support. So hey guys, I hope all is well with you. I hope you're in good health, good wealth, and all that jazz. So I wanted to come on here and do this video. I've had several requests for this, so I kind of decided to conjure everything up and kind of make a video of trying to answer like a bunch of questions in one video. So this video is going to be talking about how to look for an apartment in the city of Dallas. Well, not just Dallas and as the top, and then all the cities and suburbs underneath it, right? Because I don't think a lot of people understand that it's just so many more cities than just Dallas. So when you are moving to Dallas, understand that there's a plethora of different cities and options that you can go to that can, you know, where you can be comfortable and find good living, etc. So with that said, please hit the like and subscribe button if this video was helpful to you. I would most greatly appreciate it. So let's get started. So what I'm gonna try to do is add in a map to show Dallas and all of the cities. I don't know, I need to see if I can find one like that. But a lot of people need to understand that there's just the main city of Dallas. Then there's like these swarm of other cities that's around it. Like, I don't even know how many cities there are. It's a lot. But with that said, there are so many cities that can offer homes, apartments, you know, etc. in the suburbs on the outskirts of Dallas. So what I have been kind of hearing is that a lot of people, they don't really know what to look for or how to go about searching or where to look or, you know, what's affordable. Let me just say this. Let me just give you this disclaimer off the top. Everywhere is expensive here now. There's nowhere cheap. I would love to tell you that as a realtor, I have an inside track on where's cheapest. Nowhere is cheap. I mean, dare I say it? I can't believe I'm saying this out loud. I think Houston is cheaper right now than Dallas. It's just what it is. This is where we are now. It's very, very expensive. I don't know what to say besides that. If you plan on moving here, just prepare that you're not gonna be paying what you once saw Dallas as, $600 for one bedroom. Like, you're not gonna see that anymore. Everywhere is unaffordable and inconvenient, and you know, it sucks. I actually had a young lady comment on one of my videos last night, and she was just like, you know, tell us native Texans what to do, because we're being forced out and we're being pushed out and we're the ones that were here. You know, my answer to that is I understand. I mean, I've been here 15 years. So I came in a time when Dallas was like dirt cheap. I came before, you know, the secret got out, and I remember paying $800 for a 2-bedroom townhouse, $880 for my 3-bedroom townhouse in on Alma in Plano, and my other one was off of Independence and Ridgeview in Plano. I remember it. So, you know, I'm right there with you. Unfortunately, this is just the market that we're in now. My best advice is probably to try to move more out and see if that makes a difference. I just feel like what I learned when I did the apartment tour the other day though is that, you know, everything is market price. So they're making everything expensive based on market price. So even though today a 1-bedroom might be like $1,200, next month it could change to $1,350 because it's market price. So the best thing for you to do is when you get into a lease, try to like get into it for the longest time possible if you think you're gonna be there for a long time. But I'm with you. I think it's completely unfair, you know, and to be fair, everywhere, every major city in this country now is expensive. You have kids moving back in with their parents. You have people staying in relationships they don't want to be in because it's too expensive to live on your own. You have best friends getting places together. I mean, at this point, I think it's a matter of how you just survive to get through, you know? I'm gonna be honest, if I was trying to move now with me having a 6-year-old in the state that I was in back when I was 26, I wouldn't have moved to Dallas. I wouldn't have came here. Knowing that I wanted to leave LA though, I probably would have ended up in like Vegas. Honestly, I would have probably even considered Houston, just more on the outskirts, because you know I like the outskirts out there. But I wouldn't have been, Dallas would have been out of my reach. So with that said, just keep in mind, if you want to come here, just be mindful of the stuff that I'm about to talk about and the information, and you know, you can decide at that point if it's something for you to consider or think about, if it's gonna be able to work for you. So here's some tips that I kind of picked up and wanted to talk about that I think would be beneficial to people wanting to come here and move. So yeah. I feel like you just need to understand that anywhere out here now is going to be $950 and up. $950 for probably a studio in a regular area. Nothing fancy, nothing extravagant. It's just going to be $950 probably for a studio. 1-bedrooms that I've been seeing have been going for $1,100 and up. More as you get into the city. Even on the outskirts, the apartments are a little newer because they're building up on the outside. And they're going for about 11, 12, 13, 14 and up. These are mortgage prices in my opinion, but you just need to be aware of that. So if you need a 2-bedroom, just be mindful of that. Be mindful of the areas that you're looking in. Ideally, everybody wants to live in the city. They want to live near where everything's popping, restaurants, bars, shops, malls, all that. But if you cannot afford that, you know, you have to do what's best for you and maybe move a little bit more further out and try to find something that is more doable for you financially. So just be mindful of that. Anywhere out here, it's gonna be $950 and up. I usually go on Apartmentscom to look up apartments. They have where you can look up homes to rent as well. That's typically where I've been going. The MLS is more for if you're buying property. So I typically go on Apartmentscom. With that said, you can look up the city that you're interested in. You can put in the max rent that you're interested in, all of that. And it's going to pull up a number of apartments, a number of options. And you can just read everything. You can kind of do pictures. You can maybe do the tour, online tour. You can read the reviews. So with that said, read the reviews. Read the reviews. A lot of times they might be on point. A lot of times it might be people just, you know, adding extra stuff to, you know, because they didn't like it themselves. But I recommend to read the reviews and take it at face value. Take it seriously, whatever they're saying. Things like people breaking in cars, they're not going to tell you about, right? They're not going to tell you that they have a roach problem. They're not going to tell you they have a water pressure issue. They're not going to tell you this place had flooding, had pipes bursting and the place flooded. They're not going to tell you these things. They're trying to get your money. It's all about money grabbing. So they're not going to include this kind of information that you would get off of reading the reviews. So you can check out the reviews on Apartmentscom. You can also check out the reviews by looking on Google. They typically have reviews there as well. Do your research. I tell everybody, do your research. Do not pick an apartment like I did back in the day and then found out it had cockroaches. So I'm telling you what I know personally. Read the reviews, because guess what? When I went back and read the reviews about that place, guess what it said? That it had cockroaches. So make sure that you're reading the reviews and taking it seriously just in case. Make sure you're asking upfront, how much is the deposit? How much will it cost for me to move in completely? How much is it going to be for the first month's rent? Is anything going to be prorated, and how much will it be for the deposit? Ask, is that depending on your credit score? Ask, what is depending on this amount that they're giving you? Ask, is it depending on the market price, what the apartment is going for? All of this information, ask up front. And something to do as well, when you're there, have your note, take your notes. Because when people are telling you, these people are salespeople, right? They're into sales. So they're fast talkers. They're gonna sit here and tell you, because I'm telling you, when I was standing there the other day and she was telling me the information, I mean, I knew how to remember it, but in my mind, I'm like, if I didn't know to ask these questions, I wouldn't even remember the answers, so be mindful. You gotta be like this dealing with those people, because these people make a commission off of renting a unit to you. So they wanna get their money. And if you don't want it, believe me, there's somebody else who will sign that lease. But regardless, your main point is to make sure that you're having all the information to help you. So ask questions and take those notes. Ask about any specials. Ask, are they having any monthly specials where if you move in, you get a month off? Sometimes they have where they give you half a month off, or they give you a month off in your lease, or they have it to where you move in with no deposit. I mean, there's all kind of different specials. So make sure that you are asking about any specials at the apartment. If it may be where you have to wait a couple of weeks to get that free month, do what you have to do. So just make sure that you're asking about any specials currently at the apartment building. So when you apply and you get approved, they can only hold the unit so long for you. So make sure that you're asking, how long will they hold the unit for you? Because they may only hold it up to 3 days. They may only hold it up to 5 days. They may hold it up for a week. So make sure that you're asking, how long will they hold the unit for you in order for you to make your decision? Because you might get approved and then you never know. You might have another apartment out there pending, and then you may get that apartment, so then you don't want this one. So you want to make sure that whenever you're applying to an apartment building, that you want to know how long will they hold the unit for you. So keep that in mind as well. Make sure you're asking how long before you get approved. I know it shouldn't take more than a few days, but you just never know. You want to have that in mind just in case, for whatever reason, you might be in a rush to get a place. So make sure that you ask, how long is it going to be before I get approved? Because you don't want to give your money and then they're taking a week to approve you. So it typically doesn't take that long, but still, you just want to make sure that you know this for your own information. So this is another important thing that I think is good to share. Make sure that you're asking, what is the criteria? Meaning, what credit score do you need to have? What are they looking for? How much do they need you to make? Would a regular, I don't know what it's called. I'm so sorry right now. Oh my God, I just got pork and I'm tired. When people are like truck drivers, or they have their own businesses, or say if you're an influencer, your tax form is going to be different than the regular 1044. So make sure that you're asking them, will that be accepted? And what else do you need to provide in order to apply for the apartment? And besides the tax form, what else will they need? What else will suffice? So just be mindful of that, because a lot of these apartments want to be funny. Even with people who are looking to rent homes, a lot of the homeowners won't want to rent to you because they feel like if you don't have a regular tax form, they don't know where your money is coming from. They don't trust it. They don't feel comfortable. So I would also maybe get a copy of your tax return from the year prior so they can see how much money that you're making. But a lot of these places want you to have 1 or 2 checks a month, like incoming, to make sure that you can pay it. But with that said, make sure that you're checking to see what the criteria is, because if they're telling you how they're already skeptical about that, then don't apply to it and waste your money for the application fee. And also make sure that you're asking them, how much do you need to make? I think the whole making the 3 times rent is pretty ridiculous, but a lot of companies, a lot of apartments and rental homes want this. So just be mindful, because sometimes apartments will work with you. Some of them will work with you, but it takes asking to know. So make sure that you're asking that information as well. Very important. Make sure that you're asking, do they do pest control? Make sure that you're asking if they include pest control monthly with your rent or if you need to pay an addition. Because if you have to pay additionally and they don't include it, then you may want to look into getting a monthly pest control service where they can come and spray your place. Because listen, your neighbor may have roaches. This unit may not have the roaches, but the neighbor may. And guess what's gonna happen eventually? They're gonna trickle on over into your place. So make sure that you're asking, what is the pest control rules? Now, keep in mind, we're in Texas, you're gonna see some bugs. I would love to tell you that you're gonna come here and never see bugs. You're never gonna see the pincher little bugs. You're never gonna see the little alien looking bugs. I can't think what they're called right now. We've been having a really bad issue in Dallas with the mosquito eaters. I don't even know what they're called, but they're like these big fly mosquito looking bugs. They're not mosquitoes, but they're like bigger. Like we have been having them like crazy. I can't even go outside and like 30 of them don't just swarm up. We've been having those like crazy. So, if you're afraid of bugs, you're not into them. I mean, I don't know what woman is into bugs, but definitely look into pest control. Buy your own pest control stuff and keep it at the house. Bingle is great. I wonder if I have that bug control. Let me see if I have this spray that I use. Hold on. Okay, this stuff right here, you see it says up to 12 months protection. So this is what we use. I mean, we have Terminex that comes out. They come out every other month. So in between that, if we feel a kind of way, we're spraying this. And it's safe for animals, but you spray all around. You can use it outside. It works really good. So we keep, I've actually I hope it hasn't expired. we usually keep this, I don't have an expiration date, I guess. But yeah, so there's alternatives. If they don't provide pest control, you are able to pest control yourself. So just make sure that you're asking that question, because if they cover it, then great. If not, you want to make sure that you're protecting your environment. Ask if parking is included. Ask if you have to pay an additional fee, because although parking is on the property, they want you to pay extra $25. Like, what am I gonna do if I don't wanna pay? I guess you gotta park on the street. Nevertheless, check and see and make sure that they have parking included, and if not, how much will it be? Because if you have to pay $50 for a parking spot, you may wanna reconsider living in that apartment building. But just check on that as well. So, a question that I get a lot is what electricity company to use. So there's a bunch of different electricity companies. I know Plano area, it was only one that we could use. Let me look it up real quick. Okay, sorry, I just want to make sure I have the information. So there's a lot of different companies that can provide electric service to apartments and homes here in Dallas and I guess Texas. You want to make sure that you're going with a good reputable one. So one that I know is really good, a lot of people like to use, is Reliant, TXU. They're good as well. You get free nights with them. So you just need to go online to txu.com or reliant.com. I believe it's reliant.com, RELIANT. And you can look at their rates and such. So, you want to get the lowest wattage possible. 11 cents, 12 cents, 13 cents is decent. I saw that TXU, I showed that they offer for 16 cents. But if you're getting free nights, even if it's starting nights after like 8 or 9, I mean, you can sleep with your lights on and it'd be fine because it's free. So those are things to consider. Also, CoServe serves, I know, the Plano and Frisco area, so definitely look into them. I loved CoServe. I mean, I never had a high bill with CoServe. I miss them. But yeah, so now we actually use Grayson County Co-op. I know they serve like Princeton, certain parts of McKinney, Anna, Van Alstyne. I believe Melissa. So it's more out this way, but Grayson County Co-op is a popular one. Yeah, so yeah, you know, definitely look into Reliant, TXU, and if you can get CoServe, COSERV, get you some get with CoServe, get you some CoServe. I love CoServe. I actually, interestingly enough, I actually get a check from them every year, and I don't know why. I actually get a check that be like $8, $9 every year, and I haven't had CoServe in about, let me see, 11 years. I have not had CoServe in 11 years, and I'm still getting checks from them every Christmas. Every Christmas I get a check from them. So if you can get CoServe, get you some CoServe, because that's a free Starbucks that I buy every year from them. So thank you, CoServe. Definitely check into the utilities portion, ask about trash, water, see what all is included, see if anything is included, see what you have to pay for, you know, just make sure. You know, that was the interesting thing about when I moved here from LA. I only was responsible for paying for electricity and I think gas. My gas bill for my stove was like $10 a month, and my electricity was maybe about $45 because I had got on like the low income list. Baby, that shit don't exist here. It don't exist here. I'm telling you right now, if it do, please put me on, because yeah, everybody pays here. You pay for electricity, you paying for water usage, you paying for trash, you paying for everything. You're paying for everything that you literally would be paying for if you lived in a house. So when I transitioned into living in a house, I was already used to paying all these utilities. So it didn't really fade me as much, because I was like, well, dang, I've been paying for trash. Like, I never paid for trash in an apartment before. So it was really weird to me. I'm like, why do I gotta pay for trash? Like, why do I gotta pay for that? Like, isn't this included in my rent? No, it's not. You're paying for all of this. Rent, water, electricity, and trash is all separate bills. I think your water and trash might be one bill, but nevertheless, it's all additional to just your regular rent. And not including if you have a parking space you're gonna pay for, and not including if you have to pay for anything additionally, like, I don't know, different stuff. But for the most part, those are the utilities that you're gonna have to pay. So ask about those things. So I say this on every discussion video regarding moving. Take a tour. Do not sign a lease for an apartment that you have not seen. Now keep in mind, when I got the Roach apartment, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful 2-story townhouse, 1 bed on the bottom, 1 bed on the top. It was right in Richardson. It was really cute. It looked bomb. So I'm thinking like, these reviews ain't true, because look at it, it's beautiful, baby. A day and a half later, George was on that couch and a little roach crawled down the little couch. So yeah, take a tour. And when you take a tour, open the cabinets. Open the underneath the sink. Open a cabinet above the fridge. Open a cabinet in the bathroom where the sink is. Like, open all the cabinets, because you know what? They're gonna clean all that stuff out. So if there's a roach, they're not gonna like typically think about, oh, let me go ahead and, you know, get above the refrigerator cabinet. They're not gonna think about that kind of stuff. You can check whatever you want. If you are touring, you can check whatever you like. So check into that. Check into taking a tour. See what it looks like, see how you're feeling about it, you know, because I can guarantee how it looks on the pictures. It never looks the same in person. So make sure that you're taking a tour, and do not lock yourself into a lease in a unit that you have never seen in person. So this is also something I say a lot. Check out the area, and go check out the area, preferably at night. Because guess what? The real is gonna show at night. If you wanna know how it looks, go at night. That's the best way to tell if it's safe or not. Because during the day, you know, they say the freaks come out at night. You know, they're not gonna be doing stuff during the day at 2 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. They're gonna be doing it at night when everybody is asleep. So definitely check it out at night and see how you feel. See, you know, if you get a good vibe from it, if you get, you know, whatever, just check it out at night. Don't be afraid to go check it out at night, because if you're afraid to check it out at night, then you do not need to be applying to live there. So check the distance. It's going to be from a job that you may be thinking about transferring to or applying to. You can go on Waze and you can type in the address and then type in the job or the area of location, and you can see as far as miles how long it will take for you to get there. So whatever it says, well, depending on what time you look it up, it could be when traffic is low. So kind of do it early in the morning so you can see what the morning traffic may look like and get an idea of what your morning commute may be if you have to travel to work every day and go to the office. If you're remote, then this does not apply to you. But if you are having to drive to an office, definitely want to make sure that it's something that you can see yourself doing, because if you're commuting 2 hours every day to and from work, that's a problem. I don't think you should be commuting no more from your house to your office more than an hour. I think an hour is max. So definitely check and see what that looks like, because right now, if you Waze it, it could be only 30 minutes because traffic's about to slow down. It's about to be like, 7 o'clock here. So do it at 7:30 in the morning and see what that time will be like. Because if it says an hour and a half, then that's kind of what you know you're going to be dealing with on a daily. This is something also that has come up. I want to definitely talk about. People who may have low credit or may need more assistance with being able to find an apartment due to life circumstances. Definitely call around and check on Second Chances apartment units. They are out there. Unfortunately, I don't get a list or know who does this kind of service. I do know they do exist. I do know that there are a lot of apartments who will, rent to people who have had evictions or, poor credit. I do know that there are apartments that will. Now, I'm gonna let you know, they may not be the fanciest apartments. They're not gonna be the fanciest. They're not gonna be the most fly, jazzy, swanky looking apartments. Why? Because they're second chances. So you definitely have to keep that in mind. But that does not mean that you have to live there forever. That does not mean that you're stuck there. You're just there until you can build up, your time living in an apartment, paying rent on time, and building up the stability of it all. So, but they do exist. They are out there. So you just have to do your research. Maybe Google second chance apartments in, I don't know, Mesquite, Texas. Like, I'm pretty sure someone come up, and then what you would have to do is either send emails or call and, send inquiries. Hey, this is my situation, whatever, or go up there if you can. So that's something to look into as well. So they do exist. I just could not give you a specific apartment that has the service because they don't really advertise it as much like that. So if they do, you would probably have to kind of research and then check into it. I hope I explained that well. Last thing I want to say, there are so many apartments here. I mean, there are never ending amount of apartments here. I mean, every city for the most part has an apartment building. Now I will say the further out you are, they are not as many, only because it's like the boonies. So they haven't really built up those areas yet. So you have some areas that are more of just homes, but do not be discouraged. Do not be discouraged about the prices, about the requirements, the criteria, the areas. I understand the frustration, but don't be discouraged. If you want to move to Dallas, I'm pretty sure between Dallas and Fort Worth, I mean, that's a lot of miles. So there has to be something that is at least doable. What I'm gonna go ahead and do is probably try to look up some apartments, and I'm gonna add them in here and kind of let you see an idea of what they may look like. Because whenever I refer apartments to people, I can only look at, you give me your budget. So you say, hey, Carlotta, I wanna live, in this area, what do you think? Now, the one thing about me being a realtor is I'm not gonna say too much about what I think about the area unless you ask me. Now, if you ask me, you're about to get a floodgate of opinions. But ultimately, I tell people how I feel about a certain area, and if they still say I don't care, I love that area, I wanna move there, then my job is to just help you get what you want, right? Sometimes I've done apartment searches and I've had to pick the best of the worst. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. I've had to literally say, out of these 7 apartments, which one is the best? Because they all suck, in my opinion. But which one, if I had to choose 1 or 2 of them, which ones would I refer, you know? I've had a couple of people who are happy with the results. I've had a couple of people who were not so happy. And that's unfortunate, but it's like, I can only refer to you based on what I'm seeing. You know, I can only tell you if you give me your budget and give me the area that you like and what you're looking for, I have to search based on that criteria. And sometimes that's not a very wide range. Literally, my phone is so full, I had to clean it out. Okay, so as I was saying, you have to give me your budget. You give me an idea of what you want. You have to say, okay, you know, I want a parking spot, or I want to have a garage. You know, I have to look at apartments that offer the garage. I have to tell you what they're charging. I have no control over what this apartment building is charging. I can only give you the price that I'm seeing. And then my hair is not split, I promise. It's not moisturized. Okay, so I can only give you what I'm seeing, right? So just be mindful of when you're saying, I want to live in Frisco and I want to pay $900 for a 1-bedroom. That's not going to happen. I am not a miracle worker. I cannot make up prices and not happening. So you have to kind of be realistic in the area that you're looking in and kind of have an idea like, okay, this is a highly desirable area. So more than likely they're going to charge top dollar because everybody wants to be here, right? Everybody wants to be in Addison. Everybody wants to be in Frisco. Everybody wants to be near where the Toyota place is. Everybody wants to be near where the Cowboys practice facility is. Everybody wants to be near North Park Mall. Everybody wants to be near the Galleria. Everybody wants to be near the happening spots. So all of these areas are going to be expensive. That's just what it is. So you just have to be mindful. You know, you can come here and get what you want, but you have to understand that now where we are in this market, it's a little harder to get what you want. But with that said, don't be discouraged. There's so many other areas out here and you just have to be, I tell people you just have to be open-minded. You just have to be open-minded. It may not be what you want, but understand you're not there forever. It's just temporary. You're in this apartment building temporary. And I tell people, understand, you're only gonna be there for maybe a year and a half, 2 years at most before you can decide, hey, I like this area. I wanna go look over here. Or hey, let me go ahead and check this area out. You know, when you get ready to buy a home, if you decide to buy property, more than likely you're not gonna buy a property where your apartment was. So all of these things are a factor. But please understand, you guys, I am not a miracle worker. I have no control over the determining factors of what these high-end apartments be charging. And honestly, they're not even all high-end. A lot of them are raggedy as hell and they still charge a lot. But all I can do is pick the best based on what I think is gonna work for you or what areas that I think are doable. All of it's a factor. So when I ask people for their budget, you know, what areas are you looking in? What's your max? You know, all of these things, it's not to, you know, probe and like be heavy on, not to probe and be heavy on the questions, get all up in your mix, but I kind of got to get in the mix in order to find you, you know, what you're looking for. So I hope I gave some good information. If you have any questions, drop them below as usual. You can email me. You can contact me on my IGs, the same name as my YouTube. My email is clee@mylocation.com. It is also located on my description, so you can see that as well. But with that said, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel. Drop some comments below. Are you trying to move to Dallas? Have you been here? How's the apartment search for you going? Funny story, my cousin in Houston is actually looking for a townhouse and I had to let him know about, because he's a truck driver, and I had to let him know like why he didn't get approved for the townhouse. And I'm like, because they don't think you're gonna pay your rent, you know? But he didn't even know that I can find apartments being in Dallas. He didn't know that I could actually find apartments for him in Houston or find housing in Houston. So he's already with an agent. He's like, I didn't even know. So with that said, I am able to look up in Houston. I'm able to service Houston area. I am trying to extend myself a little bit more because I had one client that hit me up and was like, I don't care, I want you. We gonna have to figure this out because I only want you. So I was like, okay. But I am able to service that area as well, DFW. So yeah, as you saw, I did a tour with one of my clients. So now he wants to look at Las Colinas. So, but definitely hit me up. Any questions? I'm here to help. I'm here to help how I can. That is the thing. I want to help, but I cannot make a miracle happen. Like, I am not a miracle worker. So please understand that and keep that in mind. I am just a regular, degular realtor, you guys. And I'm just starting out. So I really am, I'm learning as I go along with y'all. So, but please understand that if I give you listings with apartments, prices, whatever, it's because I literally just picked the best of the situation. So if you give me your max is 1,200, I'm gonna search for 1,200 and I'm gonna say, hey, can you do 1,250? Can you do 1,230? I'm gonna always check with you and ask, but I only want to help you get where you wanna be. And you gotta be able to be open-minded and open to the possibilities, and just understand that there's a lot of cities, a lot of areas. I mean, it's never ending. So do not be discouraged. And I'm pretty sure that we can definitely, if you decide to like use me, but definitely think that, you know, I could find you some apartments that I think you would enjoy. So definitely don't be discouraged. You know, keep an open mind, be open-minded. Just understand that we are in a crazy market now here, just like all the other major cities. I mean, I don't think there's any other major city that hasn't been affected. So you just have to keep that in mind. Like, we're in a very poppin' area now. This is a poppin' city. Everybody kind of wants to come here now. So you just have to be mindful that with that is going to come the influx of everything raising, going higher, costing more. You know, everything is higher, everything. But with that said, there's still some places that you are able to afford. You still can live here. You still can move here. So don't be discouraged, you guys. I know it sucks. I know it sucks. I wouldn't have came to Dallas at this point. Like, I would have went right to Houston. I would have went right to Katy or Cypress. But nevertheless, I said that and I said, don't be discouraged. Y'all know what I'm talking about, whatever. But with that said, thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. And I shall talk to you guys on the next video. Talk to you later. Bye.